Hello, and thank you for tuning in. This week we will be learning about the art of film sound and learning what sound designers and mixers do. There are two stages in the creation of a film where sounds are actually produced for a movie. One comes from the production phase of filmmaking, the sound that you capture on a film set, and the other is the post-production phase of filmmaking, where you add other effects and music and then shape the sound for the completed product. A great majority of the sound that you hear in a film is manufactured after the filming of the images. And generally, the priority when you're filming on set is the actor's dialogue. A large team of individuals are often employed to take care of the re-recording, mixing, and designing of film sound, not to mention the actors who are hired to record ADR lines, automatic dialogue replacement, and musicians that are hired to create music for visual media. But since this chapter is primarily concerned with analyzing the narrative aspects of sound, we will simplify our conversation by looking at two terms. When we analyze film sound, we divide the sphere of sound into two identifiable categories: diegetic and non-diegetic sound. Whereas diegetic sound comes from the world of the movie, the dialogue, the hard effects, and the practical music. Non-diegetic sound comes from outside the world of the picture: voiceovers, commentary sounds, and musical score. For example, if a character is driving a car and having a conversation with somebody, the sound of the car, the road, and the dialogue is what we call diegetic sound, as it comes from the world of the picture. Sounds that we expect to be there based on the visual cues. On the other hand, if two characters in an action-packed scene are running, jumping, or fighting on screen, and in the background you hear an epic soundtrack score, we know that the characters don't hear that music. We call that non-diegetic sound. Non-diegetic elements only sound for the benefit of the viewer. They are just as important to the movie experience as anything else, but we can easily understand that the characters on screen do not hear those sounds. The synthesis of diegetic and non-diegetic sounds, and then adding that to the picture, is what we call juxtaposition. Just as we use the word juxtaposition in the world of picture editing, sounds and picture can be juxtaposed in new and exciting ways to create new meaning that wasn't there before. Once all the sounds are created, both diegetic and non-diegetic, it is now time to mix all those sounds together. If you have ever been in a band or seen a live performance of a band, you know that there's usually a man or a woman sitting at a board that looks like this. And that mixer's job is to make sure that the balance of the sounds works against and with all the other sounds. This is also that in the final product you can hear the important stuff. One's experience with sound is largely dictated by three things: technology, the quality of the equipment that you're using; the space, the nature of the acoustics in the space you're in; and most importantly, the position that you occupy in that room. Some of you are listening to the audio in this presentation coming out of speakers. Some of you are listening to the audio through your smartphone's audio port. While it's probably possible to watch this presentation in a movie theater, it's perhaps not necessary. Sound mixers for your favorite movies, TV shows, and games need to take these psychological and narrative components of sound into consideration when deciding which sounds to emphasize and which ones to dampen. Both sound designers and mixers alike have a tough job of tying the entire movie together at the end, and they are often the last team to touch a film. When you watch today's movie, think about diegetic, non-diegetic, and juxtaposed sounds. Why do we hear certain elements and not others? Are you hearing something that doesn't seem to match what's on screen? Did the sound designer and mixer create any juxtapositions in the soundtrack that you find interesting? A quote attributed to Steven Spielberg is, "The eyes see better when the sound is great." What this suggests is what's mentioned in your textbook as a co-expressible message. In order for a powerful image in a film to be understood, the sound also needs to be just as good. As an audience, we have come to expect visuals and audio to operate as a single entity. Therefore, sound is about meeting those expectations of entertainment and realism. Thanks for watching.